What's up, baby girl? How you
What's up,
doing?
Papa? I'm
Doing
good.
good. Hanging out here. Second vlog. Black Belt Power Team. We have an exciting week coming up. We've had an exciting week. A lot of stuff to talk about. So many topics. Where do we begin?
I think this one we're going to begin with mentorship and how we can be amazing mentors to our children, right? Because as parents, guess what we are?
Mentors, life coaches to our kids.
To our kids.
We tend to forget that. We tend to forget that we are our kids' greatest life coach.
So we wanted to go over a couple of things that have helped us with Pollux and actually other kids, because even though we're not the parents to so many children that attend Super Kids Clubhouse and SKC Karate, we still have to interact with them and we still have the pleasure of being a mentor. So regardless, we're mentoring all the time. And as a matter of fact, what do you think about adults? Don't you think adults are mentors to each other?
Yeah, but we tend to forget that we're biggest mentors is to our kids.
That's right.
Yeah. We have a team right now of 13 kids.
That's right.
This weekend, heading over to a national qualifier over in West Palm Beach. We're going to be in West Palm Beach competing in order to qualify for the United States Nationals. And my wife, myself, we're mentors to these children. And you know what? I give them tough love.
That's right. He's an excellent coach. He's an excellent coach.
Tough love. I've been putting those kids through some grueling trainings. They don't give up. You know, sometimes they get a little bit lazy, but it's my job as their coach and mentor to be able to motivate them and give them the confidence that they need to be able to excel and meet the goal that they're going to be winning at the next tournament. And like you say, you know, and like we found out, our kids are the one.
They're actually the team to beat. Like
done.
every time the kids come in to compete, I hear coaches say, okay, you gotta beat those kids. They like to do this, they like to do that. But the thing is that our kids, they're very multifaceted. So they do a lot of different things, which makes it interesting, but it's fun. You know, it's an emotional task. It's a spiritual task, a physical task. So the kids are learning how to morph between all those things because our kids, they win and lose. And it's a good experience for them. I think they're having a great time. I mean, I'm very emotional.
Yeah. And you deal with so many personalities from the team that you have to be able to manage them. And you know, some kids are really competitive. Some kids are not as competitive, but they're driven. You know, maybe the idea of competing is really exciting for them, and it's my job to be able to awaken that competitive attitude within them. And that's where becoming a good coach is, because some kids come in, oh yeah, man, I want to go and I want to get some medals. But then understanding the hard work that's behind it to becoming a gold medalist or a champion, you know. So I was telling the kids this weekend, right? I told them in class, I told them, so the kids right now, they have a word that's called savage. You know, if they're playing video games, oh wow, savage. Or they do that bottle toss where it lands and they're like, whoa, that was savage. And so I use that word because you have to be able to connect with kids. You have to be able to find that connection with them and use the words that they're used to be able to make a better connection with the children. So I used the word savage. And I told them, all right, guys, you guys know the word savage, and everybody wants to be a savage until it's time to do what savages have to do to become a savage. And sometimes, you know, they're doing push-ups, they're punching, they're kicking, they get so tired, they get, you know, their muscles start hurting, and that's when I tell them, hey, it's savage time. And in their mind, I see them click. I see them, you know, come out of it. Sometimes one of them might get hit a little bit too hard in sparring because we do contact. It's a contact sport. It's martial arts. And at first, they would kind of, you know, retract a little bit. But now I see them. They're like, okay, you know what? It wasn't as bad as I thought it was. You know what? It's never really as bad as you think it is, right?
That's true. And with that going all into perspective is how we get to the topic of parents as mentors. We actually have had a gift that we've been able to not only mentor our own son, but we get to mentor hundreds and hundreds of kids. So it gives us an opportunity to see and try out different techniques with different kids and becoming better mentors. him and I combined experience, we have about what, 25 years?
At least.
At least.
At least 25 years.
Yes, we are so pretty and young.
You are pretty and young. You
Thank
are very
you.
pretty and young.
But yeah, we have that nice connection with kids. And what he was saying actually really makes sense, because do you remember when you were a kid? You would sit down and you would really connect to those teachers that kind of understood how you spoke. Because when you're younger, you want to keep up with the trends of the world, and you want to sound cool, and you want to be down, and you want to be hip, and you want to be popular. So they have this lingo. Just like adults, we have our own lingo. And if you learn that lingo among them, you kind of throw it around every so often, like salt and pepper. They kind of pick up on it, like, oh man, they're cool. They understand me. So that's a good way of being a good mentor, trying to understand the different lingos that they have and what it means among each other. So when they're throwing those words out, you can kind of pick up on it and know what they're saying.
You have to find that connection. You have to be able to cross their bridge and see it from their point of view. And at times we tend to forget when we were kids.
That's right.
And we forget that a lot. We get enveloped in this world of adulthood where, it's work, and it's happy hour for some, and it's parenting, and it's chores, and it's shopping, and it's food prepping, and it's working out, and just living the adult life that we all do. But then we tend to forget what a kid's perspective is. We can never forget that. And that's why I feel like we're so good at what we do, because we never forget the child's point of view. Yes, the children do need leaders in their life, but we have to be able to cross their bridge and see it from their point of view. And sometimes you got to understand, and sometimes you got to call them out on it.
That's right. He's right. Like, for example, our son, there was something that happened this week at school, and he's one to be very, very vocal, especially with us, to how he feels towards just things that are being said.
He tells us everything.
Yeah, he tells us everything. But we've created that. We've created that bond. We established that bridge crossing where he feels comfortable coming to our bridge when we're trying to explain him something. And it's really easy for us to cross to his bridge. Now, my son, being a child who's only 9, our son, we understand when we got to call him out on his bullshit and be like, hey, listen, dude, now you kind of messed up on that one.
We put him on his bullshit all the time.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, he's a kid. He's still learning.
But kids are always going to test that barrier.
Exactly.
They're always going to test the waters. How far can they get away with it? Can they get away with this? We tend to forget, just because they're kids, that they're not smart. Kids are brilliant. And they will run circles around some adults.
That's right, because they have imagination. They haven't lost it. They haven't grown up. They're not adults where the word no is so often heard. Like, you have an adult tell another adult, hey, I want to open up this, business, and I'm going to be helping people do this. And it can be the most absurd business. And instead of another adult saying, man, that's a great idea, they start throwing them with insecurities. A kid tells another kid, hey, let's go jump off the roof into the pool. Oh, that other kid thinks it's a brilliant idea. Let's do it. So they don't fear.
Some adults think that's a brilliant idea too.
Oh yeah, well, that's true. But they don't fear. They don't have that fear of what can happen, because they haven't had those experiences or have heard as much as an adult has. So another mentor tip as a parent is listen to your child. Like he said, cross the bridges. You cross their bridge, they're going to cross your bridge. The more understanding you are as a parent to understand what they feel and the need that they want, I'm not saying you have to agree with it. What I'm saying is understand it. It's two different things. Because there's times PJ will tell us something and we're like, holy moly, what? Why would he think that's okay? But we tell him, dude, we understand that you think this is the way it's going to be, but in actuality, this is what's happening. So he gets it. He's like, okay, my parents aren't making fun of me. They don't think I'm stupid. They don't think what I have to say is not important. No, they listen to me. They love me. They want to hear what I have to say. But then as mentors, what do? Once we're done listening and crossing over his bridge,
we coach them.
Exactly.
We coach them. We give them the life experience that we've experienced. And now, our job as mentors now, after we've crossed their bridge, is figure out how to make them cross to our bridge. and see our point of view. And that's so difficult to do when, if you've only dealt with one child or maybe two. We've been dealing with children now 20 years, thousands of kids, thousands of children. So we've been able to help kids cross the bridge and see our point of view and make them understand in a way that they can understand it. Because you can talk to a kid sometimes and they'll be in La La Land, but you also have to be able to see when they're blocking you out. If you're not able to identify that, then you're talking, or what they're hearing is, wah, 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 wah. You see it in their face.
Oh, yeah.
They kind of get this look where they're not hearing you anymore. And how do you break that? Here's something I learned a long time ago. You praise, you correct, you praise. If you start correcting before praising, wah, 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 wah. If you don't praise, you see it in the child's eye. For instance, you're going to correct something. Should always start off like, let's do an example with karate. Okay, so when I'm teaching karate, a child has a bad punch, and I'm trying to fix his punch. I first point out something good that they do have. Let's say they have a good tight fist. Man, that's a great tight fist. Now, if you bring your punch to the middle, it's going to be even better. Just like that. Praise, great fist, correct, bring the punch to the middle, praise. Man, that's the way it's done.
That's right. And he's been doing that for so many years that I've been able to see that it actually works. Like, kids open up. Kids want you to correct them. Kids need that leadership. They love it. And when you're a great leader, they will do anything you say. That's what's the beauty about kids. And if you believe in them and you show them that what they want to do or what they believe in is good, and if you guide them to show them that what are the good choices, oh man, it's a beautiful thing. Your relationships are beautiful.
Yep.
It's nice. It's like
build a bond.
Yeah, and you become. Listen, at the end of the day, there's gonna become a time in our lives where our parents now become our friends. Why? Because now our children are now adults, and if you have that bond with them, where they can come and talk to you and get advice and learn from what you feel, or just respect what you feel and how you would take towards their decisions, they're going to come to you and they're going to speak to you a lot. And they're going to ask you for advice. And they're going to bring you the really good things, and they'll bring you the really bad things.
You know how many people I've seen that have such great, amazing relationships with their parents? As adults.
Yeah.
Amazing relationships. And I also see people that have, mom, that. Why? Because it wasn't, that bond or that relationship wasn't created well from the start. But can you blame the parents? No, they probably didn't even know. Build that relationship first with your children of trust, of leadership, right?
Of security.
They need a friend, but they need a leader.
Like, if your child comes and tells you something and confides you in something super personal, you can't start barking at them.
No, that's it.
You have to say, this is interesting. Like, sometimes him and I, we've had to say, dude, you have to give me a few minutes. I gotta kind of think about this. Because he'll come to us and it's...
I did this and this.
Or this person said this and this to me. And I'm like, whoa, that's a little past your experiences right now. And I kind of have to, not at that moment discuss it, tell him, hey, listen, right now is not the correct and appropriate time to talk about this. Let's wait until we get home and we're having dinner and we'll talk about it. So we're not telling Paulus, no, I don't want to discuss this. No, what we're saying is, I'm saying in my head is, dude, give me some time. Let me get my bearings, because I got to really understand this before I even try or even educate I have to come to my husband and be, babes, he just told me this. What are we going to say? And then now it's two of us kind of massaging, yeah,
brainstorming.
This sensitive or serious. I don't know. It depends.
Because you have two types of outcomes. If the child comes to you and confides something really important, whether it's good or bad, right? Because sometimes if the child has enough trust in you, they're going to come to you and they're going to tell you, I did this.
Yeah.
Or so-and-so told me this. And then if you immediately reply, you need to think before you speak. Because otherwise, you're just going to be blurting things that you may not have wanted to say. But as an adult, we got to be able to have that self-control where you're going to advise them the right way, but you also want to be in control of the conversation. Otherwise, he will be in control of the conversation.
Yeah, and even now that he brings that up, what's also important? Parents, we don't always have all the answers.
Yeah,
Saying pause, we'll discuss this and we'll pick up on it a little bit later, is okay. You don't have to have the answers at that precise moment.
You may have to Google it.
Yeah, or educators. We have mentors that we call, like, hey, dude, this and this is happening, and how do I fix it, or what do I do, or am I the one taking it overboard, or what's going on? We have that, and I'm thankful that I have a husband that actually I can speak to, and I can tell him, dude, this is how I feel, my insecurity is this, what do you think is going on, and he'll help me out because he knows me. What better person to help your child than you?
Your job is to protect your child against everything.
Absolutely.
And educate them, give them the education that school is not going to give.
Exactly.
Because our job is to be able to create an adult. It's not the state's job.
No, it's not.
Why is that child going to have respect? Why is that child going to have etiquette? How is that child going to develop these attributes where he's going to be a good member of society? Is he going to be a gentleman? Is he going to be a jackass? That falls on you.
That's right.
Good
job. Yeah. Because a lot of parents out there don't realize. Yeah. I hate when I hear people tell me, oh, like I've heard the other day we went out to dinner with some friends and we were talking about a kid that's an adult now, and he was like, oh yeah, he's in jail now. And we looked at each other and we were like, in our minds, we were thinking, whose fault is that at the end of the day?
Yeah, falls on you.
At the end of the day, it's ours as parents. That's why when you see a mom reprimanding her child in the supermarket, as long as she's not killing him, keep walking. Because she's doing what she can to make sure that she puts that child in his place. Yeah.
But why is he even doing that in the supermarket?
That's another thing.
Why is he even doing it in the supermarket? That means he was able to get away with it at some point. Huh? Or she was able to get away with it. A child's actions are a direct correlation from the way he's raised at home.
Well, something that Sensei always says, and we're going to leave it at that because we can go on this for hours, and we're going to actually come back to this again because he was going to go into another amazing point that is going to take another video. But a child, a relationship, yourself, everything has a what? A foundation, right?
Yes.
And when just like karate, when that foundation is built strong, it doesn't matter what you put on top of that foundation, that building or that structure or that structure is going to be solid. Yeah. Nothing's gonna fall. Exactly. Nothing's gonna rock that foundation. But that foundation starts when they're
babies.
Exactly.
Babies. Starts at babies. Right? I know it's a horrible correlation, but when do you start training puppies? When they're 2 years old?
No, right.
When they're 3 years old?
When they're weaned off their mom and they get into your possession. And
you start teaching them how to sit. Same thing with baby humans. We have to start them when they're young. You have to start training them on how you want. And that's where we become their life coach.
And that's when you have to learn how to keep learning. Yeah. They can't stop. You can't stop. We still learn. Yeah. We still go see other people teach. We still go see other people do activities with kids. We sit there and we watch interactions because you need to learn. That's what life's about. Yeah. But Sensei, this was an amazing conversation.
That's right.
I loved it.
It was awesome. Loved it. Hopefully you guys learned something from it. I hope you guys can pick up some tips. If you have any questions, put the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to our channel.
That's right.
All right. Don't forget that, because there's more content coming up. We know it's been about a week and a half that we haven't put a video up, but
also let us know what they want to hear, right?
yeah,
like we have experience in every and anything, and if we don't, we'll always research it and figure it out.
Anything we can help you guys out with from the knowledge we have, we'll bring it over to you guys.
That's right.
So we're experts in child development. A lot of parents ask us, hey, how'd you get 20 years of experience?
20 plus years.
20 plus
There's
years.
40 plus years combined here of experience.
Yeah. So anything you guys want to learn about, tactics, raising, working with multiple children, we're here to help you guys out.
That's right.
Sure.
And soon we'll be doing steps, because I know that's really interesting when you're giving steps and giving follow-alongs.
Yep.
We'll start working on that. But we wanted to make sure we brought you guys content so that you guys can understand where we're from and what we do and all the cool things that we like to get to you guys, because we understand that the more parents we touch, the more good kids are going to come out of it. Because no kid is born with a manual.
Nope.
And
Wish
you know
it
what? Do you? Because that manual might not work for my child.
That's right.
That's like different cars.
Because it may be a Samsung,
Exactly.
like a TV. You don't have the same manual for a Samsung TV as you do for a Panasonic or a Sony.
Exactly.
Everyone has a different one, and every child is different, and you have to be able to adapt to every child. And we're lucky enough that we've been able to experience so many personalities of children, and we've been able to help them increase their confidence, increase their way they work in school, so many things.
So many things, guys, and we're happy to be here. Our goal is to bring you excellent content so that you guys can be amazing mentors.
That's right. All right. Black Belt Power Team is out.
Peace.
Oos!